Dark Data by Henrik Rodin. What is dark data? We see that businesses are constantly collecting data that often slips through the cracks and becomes unused, but could be highly beneficial to moving the business forward. Some types of dark data that is collected include server logs and sale feeds, call logs, customer feedback, web analytics, etc. The list could go on and on and on. There's just so much of it out there. This data piles up very quickly as there is so much of it that mostly goes to waste somewhere on some forgotten hard drive. However, with the aid of computer software, businesses can process this wasted data much faster than a human could. Why is dark data important, you might ask? With modern data processing software, businesses are taking much interest in their lost dark data. Businesses are able to process dark data through software and analyze it to see where they are lacking and could use improvements to gain access to lost returns on investments. However, businesses in their early stages may have difficulty using their dark data because for the data to mean anything to them, they must have a place to start to know what lost investments they have actually lost. If they have very few investments, then how will the dark data show them anything as far as what they are losing? How has dark data changed? In the past, dark data was processed by hand on paper extremely slowly. Requests for dark data were sent to the business's IT department to be analyzed by specialists. But with modern day programs, it's possible for the everyday business user to use these programs to process and analyze the business's dark data to better the business. What kind of examples of dark data do we see in the modern business world? Apple has recently bought a company called Lattice Data Incorporated for $200 million, which to the average person may seem like a lot, but to Apple, multi-million dollar company, it's nothing for the revenue that could be brought in by this company. Lattice Data started out as a framework for statistical inference for a project of Stanford University called Deep Dive, where they unlocked the value in dark data by rapidly making sense out of unstructured data. Why did Apple buy Lattice Data? Unfortunately, Apple does not like to disclose the reasons for buying small businesses, but we can assume much from what dark data is and how Apple could use it. Since Apple makes products for a very large consumer market, there is a constant stream of user feedback coming in related to just about every aspect of every single one of their devices. Some things that we can assume that they will use Lattice data for include processing user feedback, processing user logs, processing user photos. Again, the list could go on and on for this as there is so much feedback constantly coming in from the customers. Lattice Data has also been recognized for aiding voice-based assistants with Amazon's Alexa and Samsung's VoiceAid. So one can only assume that Apple will be using Lattice Data for their own voice-based assistant, Siri. Apple may also use Lattice Data to process data from map softwares to better their navigation. Apple is also looking into using Lattice Data to process large amounts of data for their self-driving cars. As Apple is trying to make a strong push for self-driving cars, there is so much data that comes into the company from other cars around them, traffic, pedestrians, all sorts of things, so much that cannot be processed by hand. There is so much potential in the future for dark data. As its usage goes up daily in the business world, and is constantly bettering businesses.